Welcome back to Sales Insights with Sarah. This is the podcast for sales professionals and business leaders looking to implement new strategies and drive sales growth in their organisations. I'm your host, Sarah Downs, and my guests and I will be sharing with you some of our own experiences in business and sales insights to help you gain focus and take action. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Sales Insights with Sarah podcast. So today I'm going to talk about negotiation, and this has come from hosting a Clubhouse room yesterday where the conversation was the art of negotiation. Now, I had brought in some amazing professional negotiators, investors, business owners into this room. And obviously I have my own experience of negotiation, but I wanted to use what the findings from that session to try and share some value with you guys, because maybe some of you were there, but probably most of you weren't. And I think there's just some great reminders within this content of what we really need to be thinking about before we go into a negotiation, during a negotiation, and following a negotiation. So we had, like I said, investors, business owners, professional negotiators that are literally pulled into deals for the negotiation, and multi-million and multi-billion dollar deals in the room. And then we had an audience asking them questions and sharing some of their own insight as well. So it was really great, collaborative environment. And we spoke about negotiation in business, so negotiating with procurement professionals, negotiating deals with investors, negotiating with your employees, negotiating sales, negotiating in partnerships and JVs. The list went on. And there was also a few jokes thrown in there about negotiating with our children and our spouses at home, and really just showing that we use negotiation every day. No matter who we are, we negotiate with people at some level all the time. So I just wanted to share some of the things that I noted down from the session with you. So the first one was pain before gain. So prior to going into negotiation, we want to be thinking about what's going to go wrong before what may go right. Think about what's going to cause a problem, what's going to be a challenge, and start the negotiation on those things. Because if we start with the gains, it can then really turn a corner when you have to start talking about the pains. Or if you avoid talking about the pains, it's going to come back to bite us in the ass later on down the line after the deal is done. So that's the first one, pain before gain. Remember that. The other one is do your research. So many people walk into negotiations, and I see this a lot in salespeople. They go into the negotiation without having done any due diligence on the company, on the individual that they're negotiating with, understanding what's worked and what hasn't worked in the past, understanding the motivational tendencies for the organization, for the team, for the individual that they're negotiating with. So it's really important that you do your research and try and understand before you go in what that other person's point of view may be, what assumptions they may be making, what their objectives are going to be, so that you obviously provide as much value as you can. But the more than that is getting them to understand the value that you're going to be able to provide. So we've got pain before gain and do your research. The third one was to identify your current position, identify your fallback position, and most importantly, your walk away position. So if we don't do this up front, we can get ourselves in a really sticky situation where the other person is maybe making demands and we are not clued up and we don't have an understanding of when enough is enough and where we're going to just have to walk away and understand that they're not the right fit for ourselves or our organization, because they're needing value that we can't offer for a set price, or They maybe want a level of quality we can't offer. There could be so many different reasons of why we would walk away from a deal. And I think it's really important, if you're a salesperson, to be having these conversations with your sales manager prior to going into those conversations of negotiation, if the manager is not going to be supporting you. So they're almost giving you that permission of when you can walk away as well. And look at where you are kind of right now as well, and identify, how much they know about you, how much you know about them, what the position of the deal is right now, and obviously where everybody wants it to go. What is that end goal? What is that objective? What is that target that you're working together on and collaborating on, partnering on to get there? But being clear on your walkaway position is just so critical. And I have done this the wrong way so many times in the past, and I had to learn the hard way, where I maybe went into a deal and said yes too much because I was trying to make sure that my customer had what they wanted, that my business that I was working for as an employee at the time, we're still going to get a sale. I knew, still decent margin in it, but actually it wasn't the right deal for the company. So I learned from that, and just by having that conversation with my manager prior to the negotiation conversations, I was just much more confident in what I could and could not offer, and it really, really helped that process. So that's I've got 3: pain before gain, do your research, and identify your current and walkaway position. So that's 3 that I just think are going to really help people. I'm going to do future episodes, probably interviewing some of these negotiation professionals on the podcast, because I learned so much from them during that Clubhouse room, and I'm sure that you will too. Their insight is incredible. So I will be doing future episodes, but I just wanted to kind of give those 3 top tips for entering negotiation. And then we'll be doing future episodes on kind of the process of negotiation. So not just what you need to do up front, but what we need to be thinking of during the process and afterwards as well. And also, I just wanted to recommend, if anyone's listening to this and hasn't read Influence by Robert Cialdini, that is Cialdini, Influence by Robert Cialdini, I would really recommend you read that. If you're doing anything to do with people, sales, negotiation, I think it's a fantastic read, and you're going to learn so much from that. So that was just a short episode from me today. I really hope I've added some value, given something for you to think about, and watch this space, because I will be bringing on some of these negotiation experts into the podcast in the future months. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Sales Insights with Sarah podcast. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, so that you are notified of every new episode. If you could take a few minutes to leave a review, it would be greatly appreciated. See you next time.